Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our weekly show, Talking Point. I'm your host, Syed Neaz Ahmed. Today in our studios, we have an artist who has spent a good deal of her time not only painting, but traveling. And that travel, constant travel, has taught her a lot of things. Those experiences, those ideas have been depicted masterfully on the canvas. We have in our studios Zahura Sultana S1. She is a London-based artist. She was trained in London. She has held many exhibitions, and without much ado, I'll go to her. Welcome to the show, Zahura.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming along and accepting our invitation.
You're welcome.
I know that you live a little outside of London, but I hope the travel was not that hectic for you today.
No, it was fine.
Tell us, how did it all begin, the journey for Zahura Sultana to become an artist?
Okay. Well, it began a long time ago.
Try to remember.
Long time ago, when I was born in East Pakistan, but really grew up in Pakistan or
The other
West
part,
Pakistan.
yes,
Yeah.
because your father was with the army.
That's right. He was in the army, he was an engineer, and so there was a lot of discipline and regularity and order in the house. That's what I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
And
very much regimented.
Definitely, yes. And growing up in an Islamic country, we grew up with the azan, the day being divided into 5 parts, people meeting in a corner or wherever, after this azan or before that azan. So
yeah, it is also a time marker, you see.
Yeah.
I will meet you after Salat al-Asr.
Yes.
That's a time marker too.
Yes, and it's so universal in all the Muslim countries.
Yeah.
And that's quite beautiful, actually. So, yes, the thing most prominent that comes in from my childhood into my work is the order and the discipline in the house and outside the house, really. But along with that, there was a great sense of security that every day will be like the next day, and just comfort, safety, security, that the pattern of one day,
that kind of life,
will repeat itself. So that's what I grew up with.
Yes.
But we traveled a lot.
Didn't you find that monotonous?
Yes, you could say there's monotony in there, but at that time, that was the life we knew, and we were really extremely happy with that. It was a small unit, mom, dad, and 5 of us. And we played with each other, and we had a routine, like after midday nap, my dad would come out and cut a fruit, bring us all together. My mom would be resting, and it was just a very happy time growing up. But we traveled a lot, being in the army. Every 2 years we were in the UK as well. So it wasn't that monotonous, actually. We had to change and adapt to different countries very quickly, and especially in schools.
Right.
Where
you must have gone to different schools.
Yeah.
And developed different kinds of friends at each school, and try to understand them. Even the dialects, the languages they spoke, because on this Indian subcontinent they say that the dialect changes after every 20 miles.
That's very true. That's very true. And the language changed from Bangla when we were once or twice we were in East Pakistan, so the language was all Bengali. But as we were in Pakistan, it was all Urdu, and the gardener, the the cleaners and the orderlies, all Urdu. And I grew up speaking Urdu as my mother tongue. And I can read Urdu, but not Bangla.
Well, unfortunate, but inshallah you can if you try.
Yeah.
Put your heart to it.
Well, yes, definitely.
It's a very sweet language. Bengali is a very sweet language.
Yeah, my husband definitely tells me, reminds me all the time what I'm missing with Rabindranath Tagore's poems and stories.
Nazrul Islam.
Yeah.
There's a lot of folk songs and a lot of folklore based on the long tradition of these mystic writers and poets
Sufis.
and Sufis, and that's why we call it Baul song and all that.
Yes, yes.
That's great. When did you realize that there was an artist inside you trying to come out, a painter?
Well, that's interesting because until the age of 20, I think I painted only 4 pictures, 4 paintings. It wasn't
painted or used pencil or sketch or something?
Pencil sketch and a little bit of color. I don't know where I got it from, but it was at home, and we were never taught in the class in schools. And I actually when I finished my matriculation, my mum said that I couldn't go to an art college. My mum and dad both, because my younger sister was very close to me with age-wise, and she insisted we went to the same school or same university, really.
Yes.
And she wouldn't do fine art. No, was her answer. So I did home economics, and fine art just went out of the window from there. So till the age.
Where did you pick it up again?
Okay, well then. I got married in 72 and came to England, and I had some spare time in my hands, so I joined the Croydon College in the evening to do some live sketching, and I was just so shocked to find I was sitting in front of nude model, and I'm supposed to do the drawings.
Yeah.
I sat there for a couple of classes, but could not take these drawings back home. They wouldn't be welcomed.
Yeah.
So I used to tear them up and throw them in the bin before I reached home. So then I gave up. I didn't think that was a good idea, and I started accountancy. And yeah.
You were still looking at the figures.
Oh, well, I had to stop.
No, because the figure, whether it was a male or female, but the figures 2 + 2 = 4.
Oh, right.
That kind of figure.
Absolutely right, yes. And A for art, A for accountancy. I was stuck with A. Yeah.
Did you become an A-class accountant?
No. No.
So when did you come back again to painting?
Well, really, when I was about 40 years old. I had remarried by that time, and my husband was working in Dubai. My second child had eczema, and he was much better in England, the weather, climate, and everything. Again, I found some spare time.
Right.
And away I went back to Croydon College again after 20 years.
By that time, those nude models had gone away.
Had gone away. That's true. That's true. And I did a foundation in Croydon College.
Right.
Yes, at the grand age of 40.
Yes.
Yeah.
But did you find it a bit uncomfortable now? They were all welcoming.
Oh, age isn't an issue at all. I mean, we are blessed. I was blessed because of the education system in the UK,
Right.
that if you want to do something, you can do it at any part of your life. There's nothing to stop you. The students, as well as the tutors and the organization, age was not visual.
After this foundation course, when did you start writing, painting on canvas and start expressing your own ideas?
Okay. Well, then I wanted to learn more. And the only way to do that was to do a BA. And I did that from Farnham in Surrey.
Right.
And that was a wonderful experience. It was part-time.
I didn't know. I thought Farnham was more known for air shows. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. Well, it has a beautiful secret there. There's this university, and it's very well managed, and we had beautiful tutors. And I learned everything from there, because in the foundation they expose you to photography,
Yes.
etching, drawing, all kinds of,
Yes.
So, and I definitely wasn't keen on any of them apart from that painting. And so in college I really felt I was at home, and that was for 5
I understand
years.
you went on to learn more about painting, and you joined a master's course.
Yeah, so I finished the 5 years just flew by, and I felt I haven't learned enough. There's got to be more. There is more. And 2 years ago I finished the master's program at Wimbledon College of Fine Art. Yeah.
And how did you find that master's course? I mean, did that shape your thoughts, or is that what you are today is because of that master's course at Wimbledon?
Yeah, I would say very much so. Very much so. When I was doing my BA, and we could choose more or less any topic to write our essay on, and I was interested in, I'm doing painting, drawing, and figures are coming up. How does Islam sit with me?
Yeah.
So my paper was the Persian miniatures,
Right.
and what went in them, and how it reflected the society. So when I did my master's, I thought I'm going to go do the research further, but I discovered myself during that program, albeit at the end, at the tail end of it, but from the subject of nomadism, displacement, cultural differences, migration, I was really dealing with something more personal.
Integration, not assimilation, integration.
Yeah, and how layers and layers were built, and how human beings coped with these different issues, and then within human beings, how did parents cope versus how did their children cope. And that was really fascinating. And the issues we're dealing with today is how we succeeded or failed to cope.
We have almost come to the end of this segment, but how would you just give in one or two sentences, how would you describe your painting? We'll talk about it later, but
Okay.
just as a teaser.
Describe. Well, it is definitely abstract. Yeah, and I would like to say it has layers of East and West, and also the experiences of a human being, a mother of my age. I don't know. Every viewer will describe it differently, I think.
Sure, we'll talk about it later. We need to take this commercial break, and when we come back, we will definitely continue with this very interesting discussion with you. Thank you for being with us. We need this commercial break, and when we come back, we'll continue with our discussion with our distinguished guest today, Zahura Sultana S1. Thank you.